Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are watching this. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm Boon. Let's talk sports. So, we didn't put a video out on Thursday, so it's going to be kind of condensing the whole week. Hopefully, I don't miss too many things. I only wrote down stuff for the week, not the weekend, but we're gonna get right into it. So let's talk about Fleury's performance in Montreal. Fleury plays for the Minnesota Wild, and they had a game in Montreal at the beginning of the week, and he looked like he was back to doing Fleury things. He played unreal. Like, the saves he was making, he was doing his classic, cartwheel thing that he does in his when he used to do that back when, and the two pad stack. Like, that dude was on his game. He was looking like a goalie fresh out of the minor leagues. Like, he was playing unbelievable. But that comes with the question of, is this his last year? Now, he's been playing for a long time. He started with Pittsburgh. He got traded to a couple teams, and now he's in Minnesota. But is this his last year? Is the Flower retiring? This is crazy, because he's one of those players that, like, eventually they'll retire, but, like, you never know when, because he doesn't seem like he's really had a bad year. I think he's been on a couple not so great teams, so it makes his performance look not too bad, or not too good. But I don't think that he has really had, like, a year where he just looks old and tired and, like, sluggish. And I mean, maybe I'm missing one of the years, but I it's hard to believe that this might be his last year. The way he's talking, with just him saying that he woke up this season and said, we're gonna have a fantastic season. That hopefully just means that it's gonna be a fantastic season, and he's gonna have a career year, and he's not retiring. But I think, if by chance he is, I think it would be extremely cool for him to get a one-day deal with Pittsburgh, so he can retire in Pittsburgh, because most of his years were in Pittsburgh, and I think that would just be really cool to see him back with the gang a little bit, and retiring there. So I didn't realize this. I was looking at the stats last night and realized Vegas is undefeated, Boston is undefeated, and Colorado is undefeated. That's insane. That's 3 teams with a combined 0 losses. That is so cool. I think Vegas is up to 6. I think Boston is either 5 or 6, and I think Colorado is at 5 wins as of right now. We knew coming into the season, looking back at last season, that these 3 teams were going to absolutely dominate. They're saying that they're all going to win their respective not conferences, their divisions. They're going to win their respective divisions. But I just think that's so cool that we're like a week and a half, 2 weeks in, and we still have 3 teams that are undefeated. That is so cool. I hope one of them just absolutely has, like, an unbelievable career, and they don't go how the Tampa Bay Rays went, where they just had a flaming hot start, and then they screwed it up and got swept before they even went to playoffs. Speaking of the Avs, Connor is having himself a couple solid games. He has back-to-back 2 shorthanded goals. So the first game, he got a shorty. Second game, he got a shorty. I think they're both breakaways too. I think they were very similar to each other. Don't quote me on that though. I'm not too sure. But the last person to do that is Landeskog. I think that is insane that he did that. That is so cool. Obviously, I hope he scores in the regular time 5-on-5, but I think that is just so cool that he has not 1 but 2 shorthanded goals, and they came back-to-back in back-to-back games. That is so cool. And Cale Makar, he is one of my favorite players. I love the way he plays. My mom and I have a running joke. I think it's on the NHL channel, but we say, "Dude, where's my car?" Like, "Dude, where's my car?" Makar. Yeah. Oh, I didn't need to explain that. But he becomes the fastest NHL defenseman in history to get 250 points. I think that is so cool. He deserves it. He has had a rough couple runs with concussions and just, injuries. I hope that he stays healthy this year because I think he's going to have a ridiculous career year if he stays healthy throughout the whole bit of it. And I think that he's going to be a very, very, very key player like he has been before. But let's hope he stays healthy, right? Let's hope he stays healthy. Now, speaking of healthy, are the Oilers in trouble? Connor McDavid is out for 2 weeks. Now, before we get to the bad news, let's start with the good news. McDavid's spin-o-rama goal. That was unbelievable. That was pure McDavid. That was like some I don't even know, like some figure skating move, like some unbelievable spinorama on his knees, gets back up, doesn't even miss a beat, and in true McDavid fashion, scores. Just unbelievable. That one was crazy. I think that's going to be on a couple highlight reels for a while. It was just absolutely unbelievable. But getting to the sad part, McDavid has a upper body injury. He's going to be out for 1 to 2 weeks, probably closer to 2 weeks if he has torn something. Look at my cup. I don't think that is going to heal too fast, which sucks for the Oilers and the Winter Classic that is coming up literally on Saturday or Sunday. Like that's coming up. He is going to miss that. I don't see him playing in it. I think it would be very stupid for him to play in it, not only because he is hurt, but also because just like the cold and everything, like he could hurt himself worse. And especially if they're playing Calgary, if Calgary knows that he's hurt and he comes out, they're obviously going to target him a lot more than they usually do. So yeah, are the Oilers in trouble? Now, this could go one of two ways. We could talk about how McDavid is going to be out for 2 weeks, and that, historically, while McDavid is out, the team does play better because they don't rely on him more. So they could squeeze out a couple wins while McDavid is gone. But this is frustrating. This is frustrating to talk about. It's frustrating to watch them play because they lost to Vancouver. They won against Nashville. They lost against the Flyers. And they just lost their last game too. They're like 1-4 or 5 right now. And that is unacceptable when you think about how the players, Connor, Draisaitl, they were talking about cup or bust this year. We didn't think they would choose bust. we didn't think they would choose bust. Obviously, there's still a lot of hockey to be played, and this obviously doesn't determine the whole season, but the first couple games just have been unacceptable because we should be winning against Vancouver, we should be winning against Philly, we should be winning against these kind of underdog teams. On paper, we have a Stanley Cup champion team, multiple Stanley Cups. And the fact that it just goes to show that on paper everything can look beautiful, but um, in real life, when you actually have the components working together, sometimes it doesn't work. I think things are definitely going to be changing if they don't get out of this rut, because it is ridiculous. I know the fans are getting frustrated because what the hell, and yeah, it's almost as bad as saying that there's snow on the ground right now. Like, I don't know what's worse, the Oilers and how they're playing, or the fact that there's snow on the ground right now. So sad. So sad in both respects. But I think a lot of it has to do with defensive mistakes. Um, I don't think that it's all on the goalies. I don't think it's all on Soup and Stew. I think that it's hard to say this because I don't really like Jack Campbell, and I'm a fan of Stuart Skinner because he's still in his rookie years. He's still learning a lot, and he kind of just got thrown into the half number one position because let's be honest, the Oilers don't have a number one goalie. They both are very good and very shitty. They can either stop a a pebble or they can't stop a beach ball. Let's be honest there. I think that we need a better veteran goalie for Stu. Like, I seriously think that Boston lucked out with the Omar Swayman combo. They have unbelievable goaltending, and they both show up for each other in the team. And it's hard to know which stew and which soup you're gonna get, you know? Are you gonna get a hot soup? Are you gonna get a hot stew? Are you gonna get a cold one? Are you gonna get a cold soup? You know? Like, it sucks. But I also think that they have to obviously stand on their head and play unbelievable, because with the mistakes that the defense are making and the fact that we're not really getting too many goals, um, you can't just point the finger at the goalies and say it's all their fault, because it's definitely not. Now, I can talk about the Oilers all day long until my face is blue, because I both love and hate them. Obviously, I'm from Edmonton, so I very much watch them on a regular basis, but I'm not a super fan. Like, I'm not like the Los Angeles Chargers super fan, you know. Um, I'm gonna obviously keep watching them no matter what, but when shit starts to get rocky and they're not playing the way that the Oilers should be playing, I'll probably like walk away, do a couple things, maybe go to bed early, like, because why am I losing sleep over a team that seriously doesn't look like they even want to be out there sometimes. But that's a whole nother topic. I can rant about the Oilers for 4 days. Um, so we're gonna get moving, and we're gonna move on to the Capitals and Ovechkin, because they're struggling too. It's funny because people will look at both Edmonton and Washington. They're not producing um, they're not producing points. They're saying that Connor McDavid is washed up, which I don't think is true. They're saying Ovechkin is washed up. I don't think that's true either. I think that he has a lot of pressure on him because he is chasing Wayne Gretzky's goal record. So I think that there's a lot of pressure on him, and people have calculated it out that he has to get a certain amount of goals each game and blah blah blah. But if we're gonna be completely honest, he's not gonna score every game. And for the first time in his career, he went shotless in back-to-back games, which is actually kind of crazy thinking about the career that he has and the fact that he has never actually gone shotless in not one but two games. That's insane. That is crazy. Props to him. I think that just goes to show that he is just not in his rhythm yet. He came off of a really horrible season with his with a parent passing away, and the fact that they didn't get to the playoffs, and just all of this pressure of him breaking the record. I think it's, for a player, you just got to see the puck go in to know that it can go in. Obviously, we know he can score and that it's unbelievable when he does. It's so cool. But I think that he just needs to get back into it, get back into the rhythm. And I don't think that he's slacking. I don't think the Caps are slacking. That's hard to say because I don't like the Capitals, because I grew up a Penguins fan, and my brother grew up a Capitals Ovechkin fan, just to spite me because of the Sidney Crosby Ovechkin rivalry. But I'm thinking that they're gonna be okay. I think they're gonna come back. I don't know if they're gonna be they're definitely not a cup contending team. I don't think that they will be right there in the playoffs, but I think that a wild card might happen, but I think it's very slim to none, and it's going to be interesting to see where they fall this year. And now we're going to shift a little bit to players coming back off of long-term injuries. Josh Norris is back in action, scores 2 goals in his first game back, and he is just being a force to be reckoned with in Ottawa right now. He is making his name known and saying, "Hey, I'm back. Let's get things rolling." And I think that it's cool to have him back. I didn't really watch him when he was playing before his injury, but I think that I'm watching him now because he's showing up, he's showing out, and it's very cool to watch. And speaking of very cool to watch, did you see that Couturier goal? 676 days since he last scored. And boy, did he come back with a nice one. Homie got a penalty shot. Really rare. Almost as rare as a shorthanded goal, if not more rare than a shorthanded goal. Homie gets a penalty shot. He's skating, he turns backwards, turns back forwards, and wha-bam, scores like it was bread on butter, easy peasy. It was beautiful. It was unbelievable. Speaking of that spin around by McDavid, this Couturier goal, is going to be on highlight reels for a long time. So nice. Now, basketball, the season is just starting up tomorrow, Tuesday, so we will have some basketball action talk on Friday when where I can actually watch the games and let you guys know. I didn't really watch preseason too much, but I did catch this. I did catch the Stephen Curry insane 3-point shot to win the game, to clutch the win over the Sacramento Kings. That was insane. That was beautiful. That was just written up to a T. Like, you knew it was coming. And then not only did he hit the three, he also hit the night night. He hit the night night. Oh my god. Unbelievable. And you want to talk about night night? Sabrina, I can't pronounce her last name, don't want to butcher it, hit the night-night. But then the Las Vegas Aces hit the night-night back at her. The New York Liberty played unbelievable. I only watched a couple of the games, but I've been hearing mixed reviews about them. But the Las Vegas Aces come back, first time since 2001, back-to-back WNBA title wins, and they're champs again. They're champs once again, unbelievable. I was gunning a little bit for New York Liberty just because I kind of like the color of their jerseys. Honestly, kind of like went down to that. Nothing really else. I do like Brianna Stewart. I like Stewie. I know they have some cool names like Sloot and Vandersloot and Sabrina Ionescu. I think maybe that's her last name. I get worried trying to pronounce people's names because I don't want to offend people. And yeah, but Sab was out there. She actually puked in the last game, which is crazy, and I heard she was sick. Now, the Liberty got fined 25,000 to the team and 2,000 per player because three of their players got they didn't want to go out for media availability at the end of the game, which in a way I think is kind of ridiculous because regardless if you just won or regardless if you just lost the biggest game of your life or if you just lost a regular season, you got to be up to the task to talk to the media, because if you're going to talk the talk like you did and you're going to go about the playoffs the way that you did, you gotta answer the bell when the bell rings at the end of the day, you know? I think it's kind of unprofessional that they didn't come out. But I also heard that one of the three players, Sabrina, was sick. That's why she didn't go. She apologized to the media. Now, I don't obviously know how true that is. We did see her puke in a trash can during the game. But I think even if you just go out for like a couple minutes, say, hey guys, I'm only going to answer a couple questions. I'm not feeling too good, you know? But obviously don't know how severe the sickness was. Maybe she genuinely couldn't have, but the two other players that didn't, I think that it was unacceptable and unprofessional, and they should have come out. And I think that the Las Vegas Aces. Now, I didn't pay too much attention to the WNBA just because I was trying to figure out everything and how to watch the games, but also watch baseball and just all of the other sports, you know. So I got obviously a lot on my plate to watch, but I heard that at the beginning no one counted them in because they had a couple legal troubles, and then and then everyone was like talking shit about them throughout the whole season. And you know, they did the right thing where they kept their mouth shut, and they just said, let us show you who we are. And that's exactly what they did. And then I think the fact that they got as far as they did, they won the championship going as far as they can. I think that it is so in their right to say something about all of the shit that people put them through. Like, if you want to talk crap throughout the season, but then the team that you're talking crap about comes back around and they show out, they deserve to talk. They deserve to talk their shit, you know? But yeah, I wanted to comment on that. I wanted to say congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces for the unbelievable win. I'm looking forward to actually watching next year, honestly. I'm gonna try to tune in for more games. I was watching Chicago Sky, but I want to get back. I wanna watch as many sports as I can, just because I love sports so much, and I just wanna I just wanna know what everyone's talking about. um, Speaking of sports and winning, we got the Texas and the Diamondbacks, um, both extending their playoff run. They are currently facing the Diamondbacks are facing Philly. The Texas Rangers are playing the Houston Astros. They are currently three apiece, which is very cool. So they're going to a game 7, so that's exciting for Texas, the state of Texas, not the Texas Rangers. But I also think the Texas Rangers, because the Houston Astros have been dominating the MLB the last couple years, and I think the fact that they're going toe and toe with them and not making it an easy route to the finals, I think that's beautiful. It's amazing. And the Diamondbacks and the Phillies are having unbelievable games. They're either like really, really close or like far, far spread out. Like there's no like really like mid games, you know? I am excited to watch, well, probably not watch, but listen to the games tonight and talk to you guys about them on Friday. Now, let's get into football. Football. Obviously, I have watched a couple football games. I usually try to on Sunday because that's when the bulk of the games are. Um, my friend is a Dallas Cowboys fan, so naturally I obviously started watching them first. But I've started to like a couple of the other teams. Obviously, one being the Kansas City Chiefs because I am a Taylor Swift fan, and obviously, her and Travis Kelce got a little thing going. I think it's very cool that she's showing up to the game, showing her support, and she seems the team seems to be doing pretty well, especially Travis when she's there. So I think that's really cool. Um, I I'm excited to see where their relationship goes. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Dak leading the Cowboys into the win against the Los Angeles Chargers going into the bye week. So I have a couple bets going for the Dallas Cowboys and Dak specifically. That he's going to get 4,000 yards, passing yards or less this season. I think he's possibly on pace to be going like below that. The Cowboys, I said that they're gonna get like 10 wins, I think, this season. I think they're about halfway there. They're slowly going, so I hope that they can grind those wins out for me so I can win some money. But that Chargers fan, if you got this far into the video, you know what and you watch football, you know what I'm talking about. But that lady was funny. I think that describes me as a hockey fan to a T. That is literally me. The smallest detail in the games I'm reacting to, just because I just love the game so much. I'm very passionate about watching um, sports, but more specifically hockey in general. So I understand that lady. I understand her better than most, because I'm gonna put my jersey on, even if I don't have a jersey, even if I have just like a jacket with a logo on it. I'm gonna put that shit on, and it's gonna be as if that team is in my blood. Like, I try to be as passionate and dedicated as I can. So I absolutely have full respect for her. I love that type of energy. She showed up at the Kansas City game as well, so that was very cool to see her. Not only her, but also Taylor Swift getting screen time. I think that's hilarious. Usually they show like the crowd, but like at the Kansas games. Like if Taylor's there, they usually like just focus on her, which I feel like they should do less of. Huge Taylor Swift fan, but I also think they should do less of that because it is a NFL thing. It's not a Taylor Swift event. It's a Kansas City Chiefs game. But I very much enjoy watching both of them on the big screen. I hope that they keep showing that Chargers fan because that is just it's funny watching someone else be as passionate at something as I am, and it's very cool. But the Cowboys are back in the schedule. I am not too sure when they play this week, but I'm excited and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. That is all that I have that I can think of. If you have any comments, questions, if I missed something, let me know and I will get to it. And I'll see you guys on Friday. This is Boon. Let's talk sports.